All right.
Get ready to energize your life. This is still part one, but we're going to teach you more ideas based on our part one concept on how to energize your life. Hi, I'm Janet McKee, speaker, author, high performance consultant, success coach, CEO of SanaView, with my son, partner in crime and in life these days, Nathan, who is usually the reason why we have videos happening, because you're the man behind the camera.
I'm in front of the camera today.
You're in front of the camera, which we love having you in front of the camera because it makes it so much more interesting. And I love having you with my followers and my audience. And also Nathan is responsible for all the technology behind our website, the newsletter, any of the advertising that we do on Facebook or whatever, and also creating the new Janet McKee site, which we're really excited to release soon.
We'll send out an email about that or something, but it's going to be really cool.
So he is the backbone of the entire organization. None of this would happen. None of this would happen if it wasn't for you. But we've been doing this where we discuss throughout the week, like things that we're experiencing in our own lives, and what we've discovered, and I share with you how that helps us achieve greater success in our lives. And when we fall apart and we don't follow the very advice that we know and we share, and how that affects us. And that's what we want to share with you today. You know, most people believe they have to stress and struggle to achieve greater success. But based on my new #1 best-selling book, Stressless Success, is we're all making it harder than it has to be. We do not need to stress and struggle. We do not need to burn ourselves out to achieve a successful life both personally and professionally. And I talk a lot, and I'm going to continue to discuss what I want to call the layers of life. We talk a lot about mind, body, and spirit, but based on the research I did for my book, and we're going to share this in more detail as we go forward, in this next episode, the next episodes, is that what I've discovered is there's another layer. And this other layer I will share with you is the most important. So it's mind, body, spirit, and energy. Everything is energy. And in Stressless Success, I share all the scientific research behind what that means. But just know, for the purpose of today, everything is energy. And we're going to focus, as we have been in this part one, even though this is part 3 and part 1, is that it's so important to focus on how to improve your physical energy, which also does impact your mental clarity. Wellness is the foundation of success. I've said it many times. I want to make it crystal clear. And it's really hard actually to separate mind and body, but we are going to get more into the mind on the next episode. But I've even found myself noticing that how you begin your day is how you're going to experience your day. And the beginning of the morning is like when to build a foundation. Have you been doing anything in the morning specifically?
I try very hard to not jump on my phone. It's very easy. It's probably the easiest thing to do whenever you wake up. I don't know why that is, but for some reason, email jumps to the top of my mind, or social media jumps to the top of my mind. But I've been aware of that situation, and so I try to just lay and relax and then wake up and then get out of bed without touching my phone. But like anybody, I'm definitely not perfect in that at all.
But that's brilliant. That's brilliant. And I do the same thing. I work on my thoughts, because right away we started having thoughts of worry and fear, and I got to do this and I got to do that. It's like, okay, no, I don't want to bring that energy into my day. So I work on, imagining and feeling elevated, expanded, uplifted. I do visualizations to help feel that way. But this is, the foundation of your day. And we talked in the very first episode about that foundation of wellness. And I talked about sleep, hydration, nutrients, and movement. That is what you need to build that wellness foundation. And we discussed nutrients, and I even talked about my smoothie bowl that I love to have in the morning. And we did a video last time on sprouts, how to grow your own sprouts. And also I talked about re-energizing throughout the day. I even showed my 2-minute energizing routine that you videotaped. And it's really interesting, Nathan, because I just uncovered some research where movement affects your brain and the neuroscience behind movement. And what I uncovered is that when you move, you release serotonin, which is your feel-good hormone. You release dopamine, which is your pleasure and your inspirational transmitter. So imagine, how can you be inspired to create something in your day that creates a successful life unless you're moving and allowing that to release? Also, movement releases norepinephrine, which helps improve your focus. It also produces, it activates neurogenesis, which helps you grow brain cells. Isn't that interesting?
Well, this is also why if you exercise, you feel so much better afterwards, because all this stuff is happening. But then there's also this phenomenon that people actually get addicted to exercise because of all of the, the chemicals that get released in your brain.
Feel-good hormones are being released and activated, so that we're giving you more reason why this basis of wellness as a foundation needs to be followed, because that's creating a successful life. And there's more science behind why that is, which is incredible. And then also, of course, when you move, it increases your metabolic rate, which helps you to lose weight. But let's go back to energy for a minute, because what I really started to notice, and awareness is key, is what I ate and how it made me feel, right? And I would notice, if I wasn't feeling well, okay, what did I eat or what did I do before that contribute to this? Because I know what it feels like to feel high energy and to feel great all day. And that's when I realized that sugar is a disaster.
It hits really hard.
It is such a disaster, more than I ever realized, because I was not one to eat simple sugar at all. No, I would have dessert. I have dessert every day. I have something sweet every day. And of course, I do healthy desserts. From my other book, Fabulous Recipes for Vibrant Health. All of my books are available on Amazon, on our website. But I had to do healthy desserts. I still want to satisfy that sweet craving. And that is important, because deprivation is misery. You don't want to live with deprivation. You just want to learn how to nourish. But here it was, my father, your grandfather's, their 81st birthday on Monday. And we hadn't seen him for about a month and a half because of this social distancing.
Everybody's been locked in their house for the most part, so.
Yeah, for a month and a half or so, which has been dreadful. But it's his birthday, and I said, I am going to see my father on his birthday. And he agreed, everyone agreed.
Yeah.
And we were wanting to bring gifts, but we didn't want to go out shopping and expose ourselves and potentially him, he's 81, to any germs or virus. So we're like, well, what can we create from home to give him for his birthday?
Yep.
And that was kind of special. But one mistake I made was I thought, well, I'm going to make the cookies, Crispatella, that his mother, my grandmother, taught me not long before she passed away. And it is our family tradition to have these cookies at Christmas. And I thought, well, this will be neat for his birthday in April. I'm going to create some of these cookies for him.
It was a nice treat. It was a good idea.
Yeah. But throughout the day, as I'm adding honey to these, and they're relatively healthy, there's walnuts and honey and a little bit of dough. I was tasting some of the honey, not realizing what I was doing to myself. Well, we went to his home, and we'll talk about the guests we brought. And I was at a joyful occasion, but I found myself feeling sad and depressed.
Yeah.
And that's not like me.
No, not at all. Normally you are high energy and excited, and happy to be around people and all that stuff.
Yeah. So coming home, we're driving home, and I'm like, there's something wrong with me. Yeah. I really feel sad. I feel sad about the fact that my father is getting older and I didn't get to see him for a mother. Like all this down feeling. And I didn't really understand why. Right. It wasn't until a few days later where we'll talk about it. But the whole event was joyful. And so what else did you made him homemade bread?
Yeah, so as part of quarantine and being home all the time, I felt like I needed a project. And so I started making homemade bread, which turned out really good. And so I figured my, very Italian grandfather would appreciate some homemade bread. So took that over too, and he liked that. But
and I'm sorry, I know a lot of people aren't eating bread these days, but
there was no sugar in it, so that's good.
Yeah. Nathan's homemade bread. I'm sorry, I have to say, it's probably the best bread I've ever had.
Yeah, maybe I start a little side business or something.
Yeah, we're going to maybe sell that on SanaView Farms. Or...
I'll give the chef the recipe.
So it was cool. I made cookies, you made bread, and then we had some unopened bottles of wine that we still had in the house. So we gathered together gifts for my father, your grandfather,
and it was great. It
Mama.
was a very happy occasion. It was just the way, because of the sugar, that you were starting to think about things that
it made me so sad and depressed.
Yeah.
And I'm not one to be sad and depressed, like I said. It wasn't until yesterday, 2 days later, that I did the same thing to myself, that it became crystal clear as to what happened. I was having such a productive day, working on so many things, with so many projects going that are really exciting, and I was getting through them, and I was being so productive, and I thought, I'm going to treat myself to a piece of homemade pumpkin pie that I made for us for your graduation. Nathan just graduated from college, by the way. Yay. And then the funny, we had pumpkin pie stuff. We had organic pumpkin mix, and pumpkin in the can, and other things to make pumpkin pie. And so instead of going out shopping, I made from whatever we had at home.
Yeah, it's great.
And I thought I'm going to treat myself to pumpkin pie.
Sure, why not?
In the afternoon while I'm working, which I thought I was fine. We go into a 2-hour meeting where we're developing this new addition to our website. And I was a miserable, wasn't I? I couldn't think clearly. Yeah. We're trying to focus on words, and it's like, okay, Janet, well, what do you want this to say? And I'm trying to focus. I couldn't concentrate. I became aggravated, and I was just like, we gotta end this meeting. I just wanted the meeting to be over.
Well, it's hard because you go all day, every day, and so you're already kind of like maxing out all the energy that you have, and then you have something that you eat that sucks the energy out of you. Like, you don't have any extra to give, and whenever, a good third of your energy just gets chopped off the top because of the way that the sugar interacts in your body, that's just not a good recipe.
Not good, and I know this. I went years without eating simple sugar. Again, I include dessert in my diet, but I would never eat simple sugar. And I don't know, this being home stuff must have just like, whoa, what the heck? Let's make pumpkin pie, let's make cookies. And I really became aware of what it's doing to me. So, sleep is another really important thing. Now, I'm a big sleeper. And tell me what happened with you.
I did not sleep well last night, and that is not good because I knew that we were going to have to do this video today, and I had, more hours worth of work that I needed to do on the website and all this other stuff to do, and realizing that I wasn't feeling at my peak performance, I knew that I needed to do something. And so I hate to admit it, but I drank like 2.5 cups of coffee right before we did this video. And it helped. But the problem is you don't want to get on the cycle of having to do the coffee all the time. And that's what I don't like. Because now it's like, okay, we're doing this video and it's late in the afternoon. I'm probably not going to sleep as well tonight, as I would like to. And so tomorrow I'm going to make sure I do no caffeine. But it's about getting on that good sleep cycle and then sticking with it. But I had to do the coffee today.
Yeah,
I needed the.
So if you need it now and then, that's perfectly fine. Of course, we have organic coffee, but the issue is then we get into a cycle.
Yeah.
Because then you won't be able to sleep tonight, and tomorrow you might need coffee again to get through the day, and then how do you break that? So now is the time. So I have an equation: sleep minus sugar equals success. But then we were joking around, and I remembered that I did smoothies and sprouts for you in the earlier videos. So sleep minus sugar plus smoothies plus sprouts equals success. Those are all S words. So success, that's what you want. And now is the time to focus on your health. Create habits for healthy habits for good health, well-being, happiness, energy. Now is the time to create these. Be aware of how your actions make you feel and practice, because look out, when the economy opens back up, you are going to be the source of energy and positivity, and you are going to create a successful life.
Absolutely. And I just want to say one last thing about the coffee. From the research that I've done, coffee exemplifies the mood that you are in whenever you drink the coffee. So if you are having sugar in the morning and then feeling agitated, and then you try to correct that with 2 cups of coffee, you're going to feel alert, but you're also going to feel extra aggravated. And agitated. So if you're going to have the coffee, and it goes back to the energy thing, make sure you're in a good place and not feeling negative about it.
I never thought of that. So the sugar made me unable to think clearly. It made me aggravated and I couldn't focus. I didn't have the energy and it made me sad and depressed.
Right.
Coffee, what you're saying is it really...
It amplifies however you're feeling.
So be careful there too.
Right.
Interesting. That's really fascinating observation. So thank you all for joining us. We just want to continue on with part 1, Energize Your Life, and give you more information. You deserve it. It's time now to put these habits into place and begin to live a successful life. We love you so much. Thank you for joining us and have a wonderful day.